What is happening, everybody? So episode 2 of my 6-week weight loss journey, or the same principles I'll be teaching inside the 6-week lean lifestyle. Same sort of principles that I use with all of my own clients. So since the last video, we've had Arthur's birthday, and that sort of went on for a couple of days. So even though his birthday is only over one day, the celebration is like over a couple of days. We had lots of cake, obviously. We had a Chinese, we had a McDonald's, both things that he likes, well, all things that he likes. So in terms of with the diet side of things, it was a lot more relaxed. I always say this to clients and to people: special occasions, birthdays, celebrations, do not worry about dieting. Do not worry about a calorie. Do not worry about losing weight. Do not worry about that stuff on days like that, because those are the days where, like, what life is really about. Celebrating Arthur's 6th birthday, that is what life is really about. And you got to be in that moment. You got to enjoy it and not worry about other things. So, that may have slowed my progress down a bit, because I didn't worry about tracking a single thing over those days. I'm not concerned about it. I can easily get back on track. It's been the second day now since sort of getting back on a bit of track. Had a bit of birthday cake still yesterday, and although I encourage people, if you enjoy it, it should be within your diet. I enjoy cake, should be within my diet. The only thing with like that type of cake is it was made by somebody, so it's very hard to figure out exactly how many calories are in it. So I sort of roughly estimated and put it into my food diary. So in today's video, with my wild hair, so some people have sort of cut their hair during lockdown, some people haven't. This is why I'm constantly wearing a hat at the moment, because I haven't done anything with my hair. Just sort of let it grow. Sort of comes all over the ears now. In today's video, I'm going to take you through a full day of eating. So the sort of things that I eat on a daily basis. Majority of my meals are relatively the same. How I go about fitting it into my calories to be able to lose weight, to be able to achieve what it is I want to achieve. So I'm going to walk you guys through that now. Starting with breakfast. Okay, so breakfast. Always going to start with a coffee my day. Always, always, always. So, since lockdown, when things kind of shut down, coffee, we love our coffee in this house. Going out for a coffee, it's one of the things we do. It's what we enjoy doing as a family. Just go to a coffee shop, chill out, have a little chat, have a cup of coffee. So since lockdown, it's been quite tough. But a couple of people have recommended to me, and we've got an espresso machine, and a couple of people have recommended to me a company called Packed Coffee, right? The most amazing coffee I've ever had in terms of from an espresso machine with the little pods. Packed Coffee. Give it a try. But that has been an absolute lifesaver. So morning always starts with a coffee. I have a little bit of milk in it. Sometimes I have a couple of coffees. I just like my morning coffee to wake me up. And then also a vitamin, like a natural greens. This is like a liquid thing. So it's basically just like a multivitamin, but a liquid one. It is called Source of Life Gold Liquid. Now, although we tend to consume a lot of fruits, consume a lot of vegetables, eat quite a lot of nutrient-dense food, I just like to have something like this as well, just to cover all bases and to make sure. Now, if you are someone that is eating a well-rounded diet, it's not essential. That particular brand and one is not cheap. We got it from the local health shop called Revital, and it is supposedly the best one, but it isn't cheap. So some form of multivitamin, and then fish oil. So I always take 2 of these a day with breakfast normally. So that 2 of those. The reason I like to take fish oil again is I do notice when I don't take this that I definitely have more achy joints. We don't typically eat a huge amount of fish, oily fish. So if you're someone that's eating mackerel, salmon, a couple of, salmon, mackerel, having stuff like flaxseed, all of that stuff which is high in omegas, then you maybe don't need to take this. But we don't, I like salmon, but I don't love it. So it's not a regular thing within our diet. We actually have some, which I'm going to be having today, funnily enough, but we don't have it that regular because it's not something like I really look forward to. So by supplementing it, it just makes sure that I'm getting that within my diet, and I definitely notice a difference between achy joints when I don't have it. So then for breakfast this morning, which is breakfast quite a lot of mornings, I've got 0% Greek yogurt, 250 grams, with a scoop of protein powder. Mix that all up in a bowl, and then some strawberries and a teaspoon of honey, just to add a bit of sweetness to it. So that's all in there. So pretty high in protein, that, and relatively low in calories. And then with that, English muffin, butter and jam. Amazing. Okay, and then I'll literally just enter that into MyFitnessPal. So let's just run through that now. Super quick, super simple, it takes minutes. Especially if it's something you have regularly. So do English muffin, one of those, butter, I just put one teaspoon of butter in there, and then jam, strawberry jam, teaspoon of jam. Okay. Oh, better to overestimate than underestimate. And then we got Greek yogurt, 0%, 250 grams, half a tub. Again, I don't measure it out, but the tub is 500 grams. I have half the tub. Whey protein, honey. So I always put a bit more. So I put 1.5 tablespoons in there. It's still only 68 calories, but again, it's because I just squeeze it, and it's just, I'd rather that than underestimate. And then strawberries, 5 strawberries. So that takes me to 515 calories for breakfast. Bearing in mind, it's actually midday, so it's 12:30 at the moment. Typically, a lot of mornings I don't have breakfast first thing in the morning. I get up, I go and train clients, I get stuck into some work, I walk the dog, all that kind of stuff. I'm not like someone that's hungry when I first get up in the morning, so I don't typically have breakfast. But what that means is it allows me to have a slightly bigger lunch. So this is lunchtime, 515 calories, 49 grams of protein. So that's going to keep me nice and full now. I'll have a little snack later on this afternoon before dinner. But that will keep me nice and full until we have dinner later on, pretty much. But by not having breakfast in the morning, it just means I can have more calories later on in the day. And my body is just used to it now because I get up, I get on with things. Looking back, I've done that pretty much ever since I was a kid. When I was at school, I used to get up, go straight out the door. I never used to have breakfast in the mornings, ever. So my body is just used to it. But what it does mean is that 515 calories that I've just had now would have been breakfast. I would have then had lunch as well. Then I would have had dinner. So in a way, it's kind of like fasting, but it just suits me. It suits my lifestyle. It's just something that I naturally do. I haven't gone out of my way to go and do that. So that's meal one. That is breakfast. 515 calories, 49 grams of protein. So today I am filming videos, getting things ready for the 6-week lean lifestyle program to be kicking off next week. So I'm pretty much spending the day sitting down, filming stuff all day long. Katie has got the kids out of the house for a few hours so I can do that, because obviously in lockdown, trying to film stuff, kids around, nightmare.
Oh, it's hot. Is he little dancing? Yeah. Who's doing?
No. Okay, so out and about, the only place we go quite regular, look, throw in some... which makes sure that the baby's not choking. The only place that we go relatively regular on a daily basis to get food out is Starbucks. Starbucks drive-through, cold brew latte, I think it's about 120 calories, I think, because it's basically just milk and coffee, so there's no like extra calories in it from like, whereas if you got a frappuccino or something like that, then you're talking like 500 calories because there's cream in it and all sorts. So we go there on a regular basis. So since breakfast this morning, I had another English muffin with jam and butter again as a snack, and then we've just popped out now to get this. So then this is the only other thing that I've had. So 120 calories for the English muffin, and then this again I think is about 120 calories till I enter it into my fitness pal, I'm not sure. And then next up we've got dinner. So just got back now, finished the last bit of work, and gonna get ready to go for a run. So something I've definitely been dedicating more time to recently is running, although since Arthur's birthday, it was probably before Arthur's birthday the last time I went for a run or did any exercise. So it's probably been about 4 or 5 days since I've actually done anything. However, aiming for sort of like 3 times a week. The running plan kind of is going like this at the moment. So tonight I'm going to go out for a run, nice steady 5k, sort of not trying to push the boundaries on trying to do a PB, but just doing the 5k. The whole idea of tonight's run is to kind of go for a run and go in at a pace where I could potentially hold a conversation. Now, it's not always that easy because I'm going with the dog. The dog's lead is tied around my waist and sometimes he kind of bursts off. He has like these moments where he just goes full pelt, and he sort of kind of like pulls you a little bit, so you can't, it's a little bit harder to dictate the pace the whole way through. But the idea is I'm not trying to sort of go as fast as I can around this 5k to try and beat my PB time. I'm just trying to get out, get the time in, and it's almost like limbering up and warming up your joints and everything, ready for tomorrow. I'll go out and I will do another 5k, and that will be trying to do a faster time. So I'm trying to do the fastest time I possibly can. And today's one is almost like a warm-up for tomorrow, so it sort of gets your body in the right sort of position for tomorrow's run, where you're going to go out and try and sort of beat a PB time. So the idea behind that is you're sort of warming up the muscles, warming up the joints and everything the day before to go out on a harder run. And I always do find that if I've run 2-3 days in a row, normally on the 3rd day will be my better run. So the body definitely sort of warms into it, which I've found is a lot different compared to strength training and weight training. If you was to do the same, like if I was to do 3 full body workouts 3 days in a row, by the 3rd day you'll start to get a bit tired and you'll start to struggle a little bit. Whereas with the running, it sort of seems to work the opposite. You almost, as long as you're, you know, well fed, well rested in terms of sleep and everything, on the 3rd day you tend to actually run a better time. That's what I've noticed and realised. So tomorrow's run will be trying to beat my 5k time. So that's the aim of tomorrow's run. Run as fast as you can. So you shouldn't be able to hold a conversation on that run. You're sort of pushing that to the limit. And then the 3rd day, I'm going to find a hill somewhere and do hill sprints. So sprinting up and then nice slow jog back down, sprinting up, nice slow jog back down. Don't know where yet, haven't thought about a nice decent hill to do that on, but that will be the 3rd day's run. So the idea of that is you're pushing the body again even more. And this is a training methodology, like running methodology. God, that's quite hard to say that word. Methodology. Anyway, look, I've been reading up more on running and stuff. Never been a runner in the past, so I've been reading up, YouTubing some stuff, and this was a workout or a training plan to try and increase the speed of your 5k run times. Was to do your 5k steady paced run one day, the next day you do a run where you're trying your hardest to do your best 5k run time, and then on the 3rd day you do something more like hill sprints, You know, like 10 rounds of hill sprints, maybe followed by a shorter run, you know, a shorter paced run, so like a 2.5k run. And gradually, by working your way through that plan, your 5k run time should improve. So I'm just finishing off my cold brew latte. Do you know what I like about these? Is like compared to a normal coffee, is this could take me hours to drink, but you can't do that with normal coffee because it gets cold. This just gets colder. And actually, as the ice melts, you just end up with more coffee again, or more to drink. And then what I'll probably do is eat half a banana before I go for my run, just a bit of energy, and then half banana when I get back, with a protein shake to tie me over before dinner. So back from 5k run, nice steady run. My Apple Watch is actually updating at the moment, but I think it was a 5k, I think it must have been about 28 minutes, I reckon, 27, 28 minutes. My fastest time so far is 25 minutes, so steadier. Back home now, sort of windswept kind of mess going on here. But dinner's done, so for dinner we have chicken thighs in like a paprika sauce, like spicy sort of stuff. Chicken thighs I think are amazing, like they're just succulent, much nicer than a chicken breast. The weather's quite warm and they're fast, quick and easy to do, and we've just smacked a massive salad on the side of it. So literally chicken breast, chicken thighs, got like 2 and a bit chicken thighs you could argue there, one of them's tiny, and then a huge salad, and then I'm going to put some of this on there. So Sainsbury's Be Good to Yourself honey and mustard salad dressing, it's going to go over there. I've also got Sainsbury's Be Good to Yourself Caesar one, and we've also got French dressing one somewhere, but on this salad I'm going to have the honey and mustard because I just feel like it will go quite well. For 1 tablespoon of this is only 12 calories. Okay, so it's like a lighter salad dressing, but it just gives your salad a nice taste to it. So one of the things that is massively important when it comes to trying to cut some calories down and drop a bit of weight is finding different ways that you can keep your diet the same, tasty, interesting, but reduce calories. And little things like this, I mean, I don't know how much a full fat version of that would be, let's just say it was double that. Little things like that throughout the week add up. You know, low fat Greek yogurt this morning for breakfast instead of the full fat one, again probably about half the amount of calories. Those little swaps add up. I've got to tally all this up into my Fitness Pal still, and then see what we've got left for the rest of the day. But at the moment my Apple Watch is updating, so my iPhone's over there as well. So I'll update that in a second. Okay, so just in the car now, I'm just about to head down to the shop down the road to grab some chocolate. So I always go on about it's important to never cut anything out of your diet entirely if you enjoy it and if it's important to you. Chocolate is something that is important to me. I've got a sweet tooth. I'm more of a sweet tooth person than a savoury person. Some of you will be more savoury people. So far today I've had 1,330 calories. And I'm shooting for about 2,200 a day. So I've got quite a few calories left. I'm not going to necessarily go out and just buy a huge chocolate bar to take up all those calories, even though I could. I probably won't. I'm going to get something, come back home, have a nice cup of tea and a chocolate bar. That's an important thing to us, to have tea, not to have tea, but to have that evening thing. So Arthur's gone to bed, Maggie's still awake. So it's now sit down, relax time, bit of chocolate and a cup of tea, watch a TV program before going to bed. Just the 2 of us, well 3 of us, because the majority of the time Maggie is still up and being an absolute lunatic until she falls asleep on the sofa with us. We're not that great at the whole bedtime routine thing with the kids, I'm not going to lie. We've always been pretty lenient. Yeah, so going to head down now, grab that, and then I'll show you what it is that I decided to have. Okay, so back from the shop, here is what we got. Bounty bar. Yes, love a Bounty bar. If you're with me on this one, definitely got to like this video. Okay, Bounty bars are the bomb. And then a Kinder Bueno, because I had a fair amount of calories left, so put them into my Fitness Pal. That's taken me up to 1,854 for the day, so that's still like 200, just over 200 calories below my daily sort of allowance anyway. And then I'll be having a cup of tea with that, and then I'll be having a Pepsi Max just while we chill out, watch TV. So that is my food diary for the day. So that is basically a full day of eating within a weekday for me. So this is why the sort of not having breakfast, having my first meal at lunchtime works quite well for me. One, it just fits into my day, suits my lifestyle, suits, you know, I've just been used to it. I've been doing it for years, like I said. And my body is just used to it. I don't get hungry in the morning. I'm used to getting up early, going out to work, working like solidly in the morning, and then before I know it, it's sort of lunchtime-ish and I'm starting to get hungry. And for example, tonight with dinner, quite often dinner time, I won't really have, I'll have a protein and then salad or vegetables. That's just normal a lot of the time with dinner time for me. So like, because the weather was warm, salad tonight, chicken thighs and salad. So what that has allowed me, because of those two things, it's given me some more free calories to be able to do something like have the chocolate bar that we enjoy, to sit down in the evening and just chill out whilst watching TV. The only other thing I maybe might have is I might have one more piece of fruit. I might have like an apple or something. But apart from that, I'm going to finish the day on, even if I have the apple, I'm going to finish the day on around 2,050 calories for the day. Okay, so that's a full day of eating. That's my food diary for the day. So in terms of the run earlier, I've got the data now from the run. So 5.9 kilometers, 27 minutes, 18 seconds was the time that I did it in. So I wasn't trying to do a PB. It was about doing a steady run, like I said before, not trying to do a PB. 27 minutes, I was quite impressed with that actually. I thought that the slower pace I'd be going at would actually take me longer, but 27 minutes, I'm quite happy with that for a nice steady run. So tomorrow I'll go out on a faster run. Protein, let's check the rest of that stuff, all the good stuff. So protein, 120 grams of protein today, finishing the day on. Happy with that as well. So that's around about my protein target. So I'm super happy with that amount of protein that I consumed, happy with the amount of calories, happy with how everything went. Like, that is a typical day of eating. It's including foods that I enjoy, which is incredibly important for long-term success and sustainability with any kind of diet. This is what I'm looking forward to. I know that in the evenings I'm going to be having something like that. So in my mind, I'm not kind of like chomping at the bit to have it during the day, because I know that in the evening I've saved some calories to have this, to sit down, have a cup of tea, have a chill out. Like, that's our kind of relax. Work's done, kids are in bed, time to chill out, watch a bit of TV, have a bit of chocolate and drink a cup of tea. Today, I do not feel like I've dieted. Yet, if I continue at that kind of pace with things, I will get the results I want to get. Just check and see how many steps I did today. So didn't have the watch on all day because I was updating it. It ran out of battery at one point. So 8,000 steps. So I've probably done about 10,000 steps today if I had my watch on the whole time, maybe even a little bit more. Consistency with that, consistency with the food diary, not being too overly restrictive. All in all, a good day. So there's a full day of eating. I hope that you managed to take away some benefit from that, and I will see you guys in the next video.